You there, Karina? Okay. Just waiting on. We'd like to welcome you back to VSC-TV. Blazer basketball at its best. You can see the score there. Valdosta State leading UT Martin 37-24. This is recorded January 23rd, 1988. As we get underway shortly, there you see the roster for the Blazers. 6 juniors, strong rebuilding team. 4 freshmen, 1 sophomore. No seniors on the Blazers team. Next year will be a power year for the Blazers. As we get ready for the tip-off. A throw-in, excuse me. Blazers bringing it down court, Michael Phillips. Foul there in the key. We'll see what it is. Holding on Roy Cotton, number 55, the center senior from Chicago, Illinois. Well, Greg, we welcome everybody back. Score is 37-24, just starting off the second half of play.
And the Blazers are trying to work things inside to Chris Johnson. He's called for the traveling, and the ball will go back the other way to UT Martin. UT Martin working things around to Masheed, and he launches the big three-pointer, no good, and Lavera Guerra comes away with it. Guerra gets the basket, and the foul is called. But UT Martin will gain control of the basketball.
Masheed bringing the ball in.
Working things around, the jump shot is good. That's Marvin Watts. He puts it away, the 6'1" guard, senior from Radcliffe, Kentucky. Guerra with the ball, working it around the point, comes out to Phillips. Phillips looks around, looks inside, nothing's there. So he moves around, going towards the baseline, gets it into Johnson, has a little trouble. Johnson makes his move, but no, an offensive foul is called, pushing off, and Chris Johnson is the victim of another. Now the call is changed, let's correct that. Now they say that traveling has been called, and fortunately for Chris Johnson, because he could not afford another foul at this juncture.
Looking at some of the first half stats, Blazers 37 points, high scorer Michael Phillips, 9 points, and Masheed for UT Martin with 6 points.
Whistles go, and we're going to have a call inside. And Chris Johnson has been called this time for a foul, definitely pushing, and he's going to be replaced by Darryl Green at this point. That is his third personal foul of the game, and we're early in the second half. Lanigan will be at the line for UT. He'll have a 2-shot foul.
UT Martin only shooting 25% on their first half free throws.
And Lanigan blows one right there, so they're 0% for the second half.
Not doing well. That's 1 point that definitely needs to be strong if you want to win games, Greg.
39-26, Blazers lead, and definitely you have to hit free throws as Lanigan did there. 39-27, just over 18 minutes remaining in the game. Michael Phillips brings it up for the Blazers, and the Blazers looking to expand that lead. Ronnie Gaines sets up, drives baseline, pulls up, and puts it off the glass. It's good. Fantastic looking shot by Gaines. He really got up in the air for that one.
Gaines with a high of 8 points in the first half, the freshman. Doing well, playing like a veteran, Greg.
And a veteran is the way Coach Domine wants his guys to play.
UT Martin's scoring leader is senior guard Mike Masheed, 24 points per game coming into this game, and he had the first half with 6 points, leading UT Martin.
That is good Blazer defense. They are playing some of the best defense they've played all season long, holding a 24-point average down to just 6 points. And Masheed will be called for traveling on the fast break, and the Blazers will take control. Rick, the intensity of this Blazer basketball team has been somewhat remarkable over the last few weeks. They're a much smaller group of basketball players, therefore they have to play with intensity in order to keep up with the bigger guys, and that's exactly what we're seeing tonight, and that's why the Blazers are up by a score of 41-29. Gaines passes out to the top. Guerra picks up the ball. Bear McCray from the foul line puts up the jumper. It's good. 43-29. James McCray, the 6'3" junior forward, also a football player for the Valdosta State College Blazers. Masheed works his way inside. We're going to get a whistle, and a foul will be called. How's it going to go? It's going to go against Ronnie Gaines. Gaines was called for the foul. I didn't quite see that one, but they do call him for it. The fans are in a little bit of disagreement. Blaze is down on the end of the court, taunting a few words at the official, but it won't matter. Second foul on Gaines.
These early fouls, Greg, could definitely play a factor later in the game.
Blazers want to stay out of foul trouble, and I'm sure that Coach Domine will do all that he can to see that that happens. And the bucket in the middle is going to be good by Watts, and UT comes out in a full court press. Now they slack off, and Blazers will set up their offense. Got a whistle, and the call is on Mashad. Blazers have the ball out on the sideline. Pass goes inside in the lane to Bear McRae. He puts it up, no good. Green on the boards and tips it back outside to Gaines. Gaines looks at it, no, passes it off to Phillips, and Phillips bombs the three-pointer, no good. McRae is hard on the boards and comes down with it and gets it back out top to set up the Blazer offense. Good job of boards by James McRae and Darrell Green.
Getting a lot of aggressive play underneath there, Greg.
And Lavelle Guerra just blows a wide open layup. Those are the kind of shots that the Blazers have got to make at this juncture in the game in order to keep the intensity level up and keep UT Martin on their toes. Three-point shot, no good, comes back out. Gaines tip, that's Green tipping it around, and it is tipped out of bounds, and UT will have control of the basketball. Three-point shot is no good by Lanigan. And we have a whistle on the play.
Lanigan with 3 personal fouls in the first half. He's going to have to watch things this second half.
And a substitution for Roy Cotton. Yes, Lanigan, he had a tough time of it in the first half with the fouls. He came out and didn't play much of the first half. So he should very much be very cautious. Phillips slowly bringing the ball up. McRae underneath, he was just too far, but Green comes back and says, thank you, I'll take it, and puts it in. Blazers have a 45-31 lead with 15 minutes remaining in the game. Pass goes to Lanigan. Lanigan looks upside, no, the whistle. And the foul's gonna be called on Lavelle Guerra. Guerra just got a little handsy there and slapped him on the wrist, and he's got his second personal of the game.
He's going to need to watch that. These fouls are going to definitely play a factor, Greg, once we get towards the end of the game.
The Blazers are already up to 4 team fouls, and you know after 6, everything becomes a bonus situation, 1-1, and that is something that you don't want to have this early in the basketball game. Lanigan shooting the free throws. And the pep band trying to get in there and say, hey, don't do it, and he didn't. And Bear McRae comes down with the rebound. UT lines up in a man-to-man defense. And Guerra heads toward the baseline, pulls up, looks inside, finds McRae at the foul line, fakes, pulls up 6 feet from the goal and passes inside, and it is knocked away out of bounds. Blazers got a little carried away, too many passes, and UT will take control of the ball.
There we see Mrs. and Mr. Bailey, Dr. Bailey, the president of Valdosta State College.
It's good to see the Prez out at the game as well as everyone else. This is the way to see it live here at the Valdosta State College, and a bad call. Would the fans say? Yes, they say it's a bad call because we're going to get a foul on Ronnie Gaines. I didn't quite understand it. I thought it was a traveling, but who cares what I think? The officials saw it the other way. Ronnie Gaines is charged with a personal foul, and it's his 3rd of the game, and that could be a crucial factor later on, Rich.
Coach Domini very upset about the situation.
This guy is shaking up now, the leading scorer for UT. 24 points a game. He can't even make his free throws now because of that pep band.
The pep band is just trying to distract them as much as possible.
They're doing a lateral wave.
Didn't seem to affect him on that last shot.
Lavelle Guerra pulling the ball up the court. 45-32. Blazers lead with 14 minutes to go in the game. Good pass, good bucket. Darrell Green gets the good pass and puts down the shot. 47-32. Blazers lead it. That was a good-looking play by the freshman. Mashed pulls up for that 3-point bucket. He is so good at that. The Blazers did a fantastic job of holding him down in the first half, but he came around the pick that time and nailed the three-pointer. Gaines goes baseline, falls a little short. Coach Dominy wants a foul. He is furious, but Masheed comes back down the floor heading toward the baseline. Tries to pull up, has it knocked away, but into the hands of his teammate. Good-looking passes there by UT. And Sean Young comes away with the bucket.
Lots of movement in there for the UT Martins underneath the basket, Greg.
Sure is. A lot of movement. They're getting buckets underneath, and it's back to 10 points now. Michael Phillips trying to work something inside, gets it knocked away as he goes to the lane, but we're going to get a foul as well.
The Blazers are going to need to watch their mistakes here, Greg. They've got a 10-point lead. They'd want to hold on to it. If they start getting sloppy now, lose their composure, they could possibly lose that lead and possibly lose the game.
That's right, Rich. They've really got to keep their composure. The foul there was on Craig Walker. And VSC will get the ball underneath. Substitution as Cox re-enters the game. 12:57 remaining in the game. And a good pass off the inbounds play as Green broke toward the basket. As he's fouled going up, it looked as though he was going for the slam, but the foul will go against Sean Young as he's got his second in about a minute's time. That is the 5th team foul for UT. Both teams are standing at 5 team fouls, so they're both pretty close to the bonus, and there's still almost 13 minutes left in this game.
It might work out even, Greg. If they both hit 17 fouls, they'll each get the 1 and 1. So I don't know how much of a factor it's going to play if they both get it.
Well, Darryl Green's at the line, and he's trying to be a factor with a 45% free throw average. That's a percentage, and he nails that one, and it's 49-37. UT trying to work it inside, and the pass goes inside to Andrew Joslin, and he puts down the little 6-foot jumper.
Back to the 10-point lead with the Blazers, Greg.
The Blazers have to keep things going. They've got to match every shot from here on out because UT is a little bit fired. Their defense is getting a little bit crazy here as well as they get another steal, and Masheed pulls up for the three-pointer. It's just short, and Guerra pushes it back up the floor very quickly and turns out at midcourt to set up the Blazer offense.
Lucky break there for the Blazers. If Masheed would have hit that, it would have put them in within 7, closing that lead.
He rushed the shot, and look at that play. McCray misses the 6-footer. But Phillips just jumps above the rest of the crowd and tips it in for the bucket. Joslin on the inside, missing the layup. Still fighting underneath and gets his own rebounds and puts in the bucket. The Blazers have to block out a little better than that.
Yes, they do. They need to get under those boards and box out a lot more, Greg. They're letting UT get inside and get those rebounds.
Michael Phillips looks to Guerra. Guerra looks inside, finds Gaines coming off of a pick out on the wing. Back to Phillips. Now Gaines cuts across the lane, back out to Phillips. He pulls up for the 8-footer, and it is short. Rolls around the rim, coming off UT's ball. And a nice play by Joslin as he works inside, does his little spin move, and gets the bucket, and the Blazers want a timeout here at the Valdosta State PE Complex. Your score, 51-43, Valdosta State over UT Martin with 10:56 remaining in the game.
There you see the schedule for the next few home games here for the Valdosta State Blazers. February 6th, the next one, 7:30 against Mississippi College. Admission is $3 for adults, $1 for students, and free to all VSC students with a valid student ID.
And we're live at the Valdosta State College PE Complex. If you're not here, you should be, because this is the best way to see it all. And that's live. A good crowd out tonight watching the Blazers and the Pacers of UT Martin. Inbounding the balls for the Blazers is Chris Johnson, getting it out to Lavelle Guerra, and Guerra slowly creeps his way across the midline, looking forward to getting the ball inside and putting another bucket up for those Blazers.
This is where the Blazers need to gain their recomposure, Greg. If they can hold on here and hold the lead, they could possibly pull this game out.
With the intensity that they've been showing, the Blazers are very capable of doing that, as they did against Troy State, the number 3 team in the nation. Now the pass goes out to Ronnie Gaines. He's about 7 feet away. It won't go. Blazers jumping everywhere. Green gets inside for the rebound and is called for a man coming over his back, and Green is fouled.
We're getting lots of aggressiveness underneath those boards, Greg. And that's where a lot of those fouls are coming from. Blazers need to watch out for those fouls.
Cox was called for that foul for UT Martin, and that'll put Green at the line, and the Blazers will be in the bonus from this point on out with just half of this half gone.
Darryl Green, 45% free throws coming into this game, as you see him sink one there.
Darryl Green is a young freshman player who has really risen to his ability. He's really making the best of his playing time, and that is very good for Valdosta State because they are in a rebuilding year, and that will be wonders for the team in the future.
He's going to be around, Greg. He'll be here another 3 years for the Blazers.
Green misses his second shot, and UT comes right back down the floor. Got people on the floor. We don't know what it's called, but they are on the floor, and the ball is as well, as people are diving everywhere, and a jump ball is called, and the possession will go to UT Martin.
Aggressive basketball.
Everywhere. These guys are as scrappy as any team I've ever watched.
Definitely finding out for the Gulf South Conference here. UT in first place, VSC third place. So this game can mean a lot coming down to the wire towards the end of the season, Greg.
Teams 1 and 2 in the conference, and they're trying to tie it all up tonight if the Blazers can win it. Cox pulls up for the three-pointer and call that one sweet because that's what it was. It's 52-46, 9 minutes and 45 seconds to play. Guerra works his way down, looking inside. Can't find it. Chris Johnson comes out and meets him, says, hey, big guy, I'll take it. Now Phillips looks, lob pass inside to Green. Green picks it up, puts it up, and then throws it up too hard, but Johnson is there, and he will also miss, but there will be a foul on the play. The Blazers have to hit those shots, high percentage shots, because if you miss those are the easiest ones to make. You're going to miss out on some big points.
Yes, you are, Greg, and those are the points that they need right now. With less than little over 9 minutes, left in the game, they need everything they can get to stay ahead of the Pacers.
Russell Guerin was called for the foul. That's his first of the game.
There you see it, folks, 52-46. Just under 9.5 minutes left in the game.
And we see it here live at the Valdosta State College PE Complex. If you aren't here, you're missing a lot, because if you want to see it all, see it live.
There you see Chris Johnson, 55% on the free throws.
Johnson nails the second one, and it's 53-46. Blazers are now in a full court man-to-man press. No, that's a 2-1-2 zone press. UT easily gets down the court, though. No problem with that. Lob pass inside, picked off by Green. Green gets it out to Oxford. Oxford is headed down the floor, puts up the layup, and that'll be counted. That'll be goaltending. Nice play by Oxford to force the goaltending. And the Blazers are up 55-46.
There you see us, Greg. Us announcers for this game were VSC students, Mr. Greg Hurdle and Mr. Rich Makiewicz. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. You're tuned to VSC-TV.
And it's a good place to be here at Valdosta State College.
Pass out of bounds.
We're thankful that you're watching with us, but we'd like to have you out here live so we can see you. Blazers will have the ball out of bounds, and Masheed will re-enter the game. Rich, this could be a big turning point for the Blazers if they could win this game here, knocking off 2 of the conference leaders in just a matter of days here. The Valdosta State could really make the turning point and head toward the end of the conference schedule, possibly in the lead. And a nice play by Michael Phillips as he drives the lane and gets the bucket on the turnaround jumper just 4 feet away, and the foul. Nice play, Michael Phillips. He's playing hard.
Yes, he is playing hard. He's one of the key members of the Blazer team here. They need lots of points from him. The junior, 6'2".
He and Lavelle Guerra, as we see right here, 63% from the line. He misses that one, but he and Lavelle Guerra head up this Blazer offense at the guard positions, and that's a tandem right there. They play it hard, they play it fast. That's the big thing, because with their small size, they have to do something different, and that is speed. And Masheed hits the turnaround J right there. That's a pure shooter if I've ever seen one. Coach Dominique taunting the official about an illegal screen that he saw, and the official just looks him away. And Gaines goes inside, gets it blocked,
there we
but
go.
Chris Johnson is there for the nice follow-up layup. Good job of offensive rebounding, the hardest part of rebounding in the game, and that's on the offensive boards.
Yes, it is. Green averaging 11.3 per game coming into this game.
Pass goes to the inside. Phillips ties it up, knocks it away, and Gaines comes up with the loose basketball. The sway is going right now. It's 59-48. 11 points is the lead. The Blazers have captured some more of that intensity that's been with them throughout this ball game.
I think they're starting to pick up the pace a little, intimidate the Pacers.
Chris Johnson just intimidated him there, but it wouldn't go because as he stood still, Johnson got the shot off but missed it. The shot was knocked away, but he gets called for the foul leaning in, but I don't understand that. The way I saw it, both players were moving.
Johnson averaging 10.4 goals per game.
10.4, that's not bad. Chris Johnson, he's a big fella.
One other thing, Greg, he also leads in rebounds, a little over 6 per game.
He hits those boards hard, and as we saw right there, he got up off the floor, but he was called for the foul. Blazers defense getting back to what it used to be. Roy Cotton misses the first time, but tips in his own shot with the follow-up. UT has changed up their defense now. They come back in a 1-2-2 zone. Chris Johnson says, I don't want any of that. Give me the basketball, but he misses the shot. And UT has control of the ball, and Bear McRae is getting ready to check back into the game for the Blazers to try and get some more movement inside in the paint. Masheed, nice pass behind Chris Johnson, but what he didn't know was Ronnie Gaines was standing right there, and the ball was knocked away, and we're going to have a foul right here as the ball was tipped to Michael Phillips. And the foul is called on Masheed for reaching and trying to strip the ball from Michael Phillips. And Michael Phillips is playing a good basketball game. Just everywhere the ball is, he's there most of the time.
Playing a very solid basketball, Greg. He's on the boards when the UT's got the ball, and he's on the offense when they've got the ball, trying to get that ball in the hoop.
Now the officials are saying that Chris Johnson was the one that was knocked on the arm, so they're going to let him shoot the free throws. Anyway, I saw it, though. Chris Johnson was there around that basketball, and when the whistle was dead, he had the basketball.
Chris Johnson, 55% free throw percentage, a junior from Charlotte, North Carolina.
He looked good on that one, form and everything, as it strings the bottom of the net. Sing it, call it silk, call it anything you want, it counts. Just like that one. 61 to 50, 6.5 minutes remaining. Substitutions are taking place.
Johnson comes out, McRae goes in.
And the Blazers go up by 11. Oxford plays good defense as he holds the point guard outside, makes a cross-court pass. The three-point attempt is no good, it's short. And James McRae is above the rest of the crowd, coming down with the pumpkin. And the Blazers are back on the roll once again. The crowds ovate them, giving them a clapping session.
Once again, you're watching Valdosta State Blazer basketball, brought to you by
Nice
VSC-TV.
move by James McCray. Sorry about that, Rich. Nice move, but the basket didn't count, and we are on VSC-TV.
Saw McCray there on that basket before. He was way above the basket. He was a good 2 feet above the basket. Shows you the power in those legs.
And we have a timeout here with 5:43 remaining in the ball game, and your Valdosta State College Blazers are in the lead by 11, 61-50 over UT Martin of Tennessee. Nice crowd on hand here at the Valdosta State PE Complex. As you see, the stands are practically filled for this Gulf South Conference matchup. And we're ready to resume play as Valdosta State will take the ball out of bounds, and the band is playing loudly. A few fans getting into it, but others are very content with what they're seeing as Valdosta State is ready to play a little defense against UT Martin, who will come out with the basketball.
The Blazers 10-6 coming into this game, hoping to advance their record to 11-6. If they can go over the UT Martin Pacers.
Pacers are 14-3 and 6-0 in the conference. They're down to 20 seconds on the shot clock. They can't seem to work it inside. There goes a shot, partially blocked, but tipped in by Cotton.
Nice shot by Cotton there. Nice help.
It really
Good
was.
assist.
He just picked up the block in midair and just tipped it into the bucket. When you're that tall, though, you can do that. Oxford moving the Blazer offense around the horn. McCray comes out, helps him out, says, I want to take a look, but nothing's going there. Back to Phillips. Phillips says, no way, give it back to you, guy. Nice pass by Phillips inside the green as he gets a sneak peekaboo layup, 63-52.
There you see him,
minutes to
Darryl
go.
Green from Bainbridge, Georgia.
A lot of promise, a lot of promise.
Yes, a lot of promise for a freshman playing like a veteran of Valdosta State College. He'll be around for a couple more years.
The bomb by Masheed misses, and Valdosta State comes back down the floor looking to add to that 11-point lead. We should note that both teams are in the bonus situation at this point. Phillips has it stripped away, knocked out of bounds by James McCray. They say right in front of us here. I didn't see it that way. I thought UT knocked it out of bounds,
I
but
thought
who
they
cares?
did too. But we can't argue with the referees.
Coach Dominy and the officials, they having a little confrontation. Coach Dominy says, I think he knocked it out, and the official says, no way, your guy did. And that's that. We'll have no more. Needless to say, I'm in agreement with Coach Dominy. Driving to the baseline for UT Martin is Marvin Watts. The 6'1 guard senior from Radcliffe, Kentucky, puts down the jumper. Lavelle Guerra getting ready to check back into the game. James McCray with an underneath pass to Ronnie Gaines, and he gets it back at the key. And a nice pass down low to Green, and Green just blows the layup. I don't know what it is. It's an omen or something, but these guys are missing layups that they should be making.
This is true, Greg, and it's definitely hurting the Blazer score.
Because now things are swaying back for UT Martin as Lanigan puts in the miss. And the score now is 63-56 with just over 3 minutes to go. It's going to get antsy.
It's going to get very antsy coming down to the wire, Greg.
Blazer offense working, looking inside. McCray takes it. They have a whistle, and they're going to call a foul. It's going to be on Cotton. Cotton's in disagreement, turning in circles, yelling at the official. I did not do it, but he is going to be excused from the game because that is his 5th foul. Goodbye, Mr. Cotton.
Lloyd Garr, excuse me, Greg, Lloyd Garr coming into the game.
The fans like it, telling him goodbye, good night, and have a seat because that's where he's going. About 3 minutes to go, 63-56, and James the Bear McCray will be at the line for the Blazers to try and add to the Blazer lead.
Greg, this is where it's going to come down to the wire. We'll see what kind of composure VSC has and what kind of composure UT Martin has to see who pulls this game out of the bag.
We mentioned it before that the foul shots are crucial, and McCray misses there, and UT Martin has a chance to cut this lead even more. probably the smallest lead that they've been since the first half. Call it, and we get a foul as Masheed tries to go all over the top. And it's an offensive foul on Masheed as he just tried to shoot right over the VSC player, and that was impossible. That's his third foul of the game. Blazers are at the line. James McCray is the man who will be at the line. He was the victim in that incident.
Yes, he was.
But good job and good integrity by James McCray to stand there and take it.
It's all that practice in football, Greg.
He's
Dual
used to the
sports.
contact.
Yes.
He hits the first end of the 1-and-1. Trying to get that lead back up. It's at 8 points now.
Just under 3 minutes in the game.
We expected
64 to 56, excuse me, Greg.
That's all right. McCray nails it. It's 9-point lead. We expected a dandy, and we're getting one. Nice play, but the shot was blown. That was a good idea, but they didn't get it to perfection, and VSC has a chance to go up again by 11 points. Share of the conference lead is on the line. VSC at 4-1 and UT Martin at 6-0 undefeated in Gulf South Conference action. Shots a little short by Guerra. We've got a whistle and a foul. The foul's going to go against Green for VSC. Darryl Green, that's his first foul of the night. We're at Valdosta State College. You're watching us here on VSC-TV. We'd like for you to join us here at the game when you can, because watching it live is seeing it all, and we'd like for that to be.
The next live game, Greg, speaking of that, February 6th against Mississippi College. Come out and join us.
And the pep band is trying to give the UT player, Sean Young, a little bit of trouble underneath as they get into their antics once again, but the shot does go. Seems like it just did creep over the rim.
Yes, it did.
But they go right back to work, putting the hex on him, as they do on every foul shot occasion. And again, the same result.
You see what a home team advantage has there, Greg. They don't have the pep band in their face hexing them.
UT comes out in a full court press after the made free throws, but the Blazers very handily come right back, going right through it and setting up their offense. Man-to-man defense now. Phillips with the ball out top, and the ball goes off the leg of the UT defender. And we've got an intentional foul, and at this stage of the ball game, it's called against Masheed. That is his fourth foul. Intentional foul with 2 minutes to go. That is not likely. That's a little unusual. I don't believe that Masheed...
Highly unusual.
I don't believe that Masheed meant for it to be an intentional foul, but he did get caught just trying to hold back the VSC player. So that will send Michael Phillips to the line for 2 shots, and in this case, as it changed a year ago, VSC will get 2 shots and the ball on the out of bounds. So the intentional foul with Michael Phillips shooting at 63%, the intentional foul is not what it used to be, in that it is a free opportunity to stop the basket and for you to get the ball back. No longer. You're being punished for that now by giving the team with the ball right back after the free throws.
Blazers ahead 67 to 58, under 2 minutes left in the game.
So the Blazers have the possibility to get a 4-point play here. And we have another foul on the play.
Lots of fouls coming down into the last 5 minutes, Greg.
That's the way it gets. So put them on the line, put a little pressure on them, make them miss, and try and get the ball right back. But the call's going to go on 34. That's Mr. Cox, as he is the culprit.
as they call Coach Dominy to the center of the referees.
There's going to be a
Coach
meeting.
Hancock.
Yes, I don't know what that meeting's about, but we'll try and get it for you.
Coach Hancock seems upset there.
Both coaches are discussing, well, Coach Dominy's listening. Now he gets into the conversation, but they're discussing something that we know nothing about. It just sort of popped up out of the blue, Rich.
Seems they're done discussing. Coach Hancock in disgust there.
I think what has happened, they're going to put 3 seconds back on the clock, 2 seconds. They say that it ran down 2 seconds longer than what it should have. So that was the case. 2 seconds is added back to the clock. It's 1:52 remaining instead of 1:50. And that, I can see arguing for that, because in a game this close, that could be a factor later
Every
on.
second counts, Greg. There you see Ronnie Gaines with a 73% free throwing percentage.
He misses there, and Masheed comes down with the rebound. Now, a minute and 45 seconds to go for UT Martin. They've got to do something in a hurry. Long three-pointer, no good. Rebound knocked away by UT, and VSC will have the basketball.
It's coming down to the wire, Greg. Just under 1:40 left in the game. VSC Blazers with the ball. Going to try to keep it away from UT Martin as much as possible.
Full court man-to-man press. It's beaten as Phillips gets away and puts in the left-handed layup. Nice move. Look at it. It falls 69-58 Blazers. Minute and a half to go. Masheed with a long three-pointer. He wasn't even set. He shouldn't even have shot it. But on the rebound, there is a foul, a whistle, and it's going to go against Michael Phillips of the Blazers. That's his third personal foul. And UT will go to the line. Andrew Joslin checking back in for UT Martin.
As you hear the fans going a little crazy here, trying to boost the morale of VSC Blazers.
Stomping the stands, and everything is getting a little uptight here. Everybody's trying to get into it. The pep band asking for an air ball.
Definitely a place that you need to come in and see, so come on down when you get a chance to catch a VSC Blazer game. The pep band tries to rile.
And it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
10-point game, minute 22 remaining. Blazers have really kept their intensity up. They had a little bit of a lull there, but they came right back.
Yes, they did.
Blazers trying to get the ball up against that man-to-man, and there are 3 men around Lavelle Guerra, and he dribbles away and is fouled in the process. That's going to go against Craig Walker, the 6'5" senior forward from Boston, Massachusetts. That's his third foul, and Guerra will go to the line. UT Martin, a host of players on their team, but not much recruiting done in the state of Tennessee where they're from, because there's not a single player from there from the state of Tennessee.
All from out of state, Greg, as we look at the roster. Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, all from up north.
Well, that says something about their recruiting region, as the foul shot was missed. But they are 14-3 and #1 in the conference at this point. They're doing something right. Three-pointer missed, and VSC comes away with the ball. Guerra heading up court. Got players everywhere. In desperation, throws the ball away. He really should have taken a little more time. Three-pointer, no good.
As the clock winds down, 45 seconds left in the game.
They're just throwing up everything now, Rich. They have no set offense. They're just throwing up three-pointers left and right.
There we go. Blazers with the ball.
And we've got a foul as Ronnie Gaines as Gerald Green tries to throw it out of there.
69-60, Blazers ahead with 39 seconds left in the game.
The call goes against Cox, and he's going to be dismissed for the evening with 5 fouls. Good night, Mr. Cox. Your history. He fouls out of the game at 69-60 with 39 seconds remaining in the game. That's Darryl Green at the line.
Greg, I really think it's going to take a miracle here for the UT Martin Pacers to pull this thing out.
Yes, it would, Rich. I really believe that. I think it's safe to say that VSC will go on for victory here and share the lead in the conference. But like you say, miracles never cease to amaze me, and they are possible.
It is possible.
But Gaines is perfect. Green is perfect, as that is string music. The crowds show approval.
70-60 now, 10-point lead by the Blazers.
Green for the second attempt and hits the front of the rim and falls in. 71-60. Valdosta State in the lead with 39 seconds. Seems like they would have called timeout and got some strategy or something, but maybe they've just given up.
Playing very wild right now, Greg. Not much of a set offense.
They're fouling left and right, just putting guys on the line, but they don't have any game plan whatsoever at this point in the game.
A definite loss of composure.
Half a minute to go. Blazers at the line. They're up by 11. I think we can count this one. Lavelle Guerra at the line. Guerra, 73% free throw shooter. He has had a good night from the line as he nails that one. 72-60 Blazers lead. A few fans begin to wander out toward the exits. They feel confident that we can hold on. And Guerra nails that one. Valdosta with his biggest lead at 73-60. Three-pointer is good, and a timeout may be too late, but 76-63 will be the score with 25 seconds remaining in the game. You're watching Valdosta State College basketball. And VSC is heading up the court with just 20 seconds remaining in the ball game. Ball's been stripped away and out of bounds. It will go to UT Martin with 18 seconds remaining, a 10-point lead. And Valdosta will go on to be 11-6 and 5-1 in the conference, while UT Martin will fall to 14-4 and 6-1 in the conference. Machine trying to pull up for the three-pointer, can't get it, dishes it off. Now he does. It's an air ball. He's going to hear about that. And that one is blocked, and Valdosta State comes away with it. Jump ball possession will go to VSC.
5 seconds left in the game. 10-point lead by the Blazers, 73-63, as you see there.
Rich, it's been a fantastic ball game and an exciting one. VSC's intensity, it's been the story all night long.
Yes, it has, Greg. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to VSC-TV.
Whistle blows, the ball was thrown in, but it was not touched before the 5 second was up, so therefore UT Martin will get the ball over on possession. It's back in, long three-pointer, launched another air ball, he hears about it. Time winds down, Rich. This ball game is over, and Valdosta State College has done a fantastic job.
Yes, they have.
Coach Dominique's team was prepared tonight. They played with a level of intensity that was unbearable. They just stopped this 14-3 ball club and the #1 team in the conference, and they showed everybody that they can play with the big guys.
That's right, they did with a final score of 73-63. Valdosta State College Blazers pull it out.
You can't just pin it on one guy. They all played excellent tonight. They played so well, and they did what they had to do with a 10-point win. And Valdosta State College is in the thick of this Gulf South Conference.
This is true. They're very aggressive underneath at the boards, Greg. Very aggressive on offense. It was a very good game.
It's the kind of basketball that you want to see. If you've been watching with us, we appreciate it. And if it is good to see live, so when you can come out and watch Valdosta State play, come out and be here and catch it all live. This has been a Valdosta State College TV production. Your final score, Valdosta State College 73, UT Martin 63. Thank you from Greg Hurdle and Rich Makiewicz, and have a good evening.